Well, as you can tell, this photo brings to me an ability to not only educate and bring enlightenment and a life lesson to this young individual, but to anybody else as well, because of the simple fact that she straight up admitted to being scared of me. Now, of course, this is nothing new to me, because I've been goth for damn near most of my life, ever since like the 9th grade or so. So, because of that, I've run into several different people who I blatantly could tell were afraid of me, even if they didn't say it. I've had a few other people that admitted when they first met me they were kind of intimidated or otherwise scared of me as well. So again, this is nothing new, although it is kind of new for this type of environment of where this screenshot was taken, but nonetheless, it's nothing that I'm ever offended by or anything of that sort, because I like to use this opportunity to inform people on just how misguided they are, based on, you know, the whole olden day saying of don't judge a book by its cover. So I thoroughly explained, look, yeah, I wear chains on me and I'm all in black, and yeah, I'm someone who's also well versed in combat sports, and yes, I'm also an intellectual, all crammed into one. But that doesn't mean that I'm a Hollywood, you know, typical chainsaw massacre type, you know, horror movie stereotyped, you know, person. Just means that I, as a respectful, productive, kind human being of this society, have chosen to put on chains and all black, to live a lifestyle of a goth, all while maintaining my humanity, my morals, my values, etc., etc. What you put to cover your skin matters not. It matters here. The heart, the character, the charisma, the personality, and the mind. It doesn't matter what you wear. Never does, never has. All it is something to cover your skin. That's why fashion is overrated. All it is, all this is just something to cover your skin. Nothing more, nothing less. Big deal. Everyone has their preferences, of course. Mine just so happens to be that of the goth style. But that doesn't stop me from being a kind individual, because all it is something that covers the damn skin. So I go out to Father Fred's, I help people. I volunteer, I do good things for no reason other than to do good things. I've taken people into my home, got them back on their feet, sent them on their way, and they're still doing good to this day. That's just the kind of person that I am, and I've always been that way, no matter what is covering my skin. And of course, as I explained in my background, you know, I was raised militaristically, and therefore I get my very, shall we say, rigid standards and work ethic and so on and so forth. And as I further elaborated too, you know, I am that person who more than likely will get along with your parents better than you would with me. You know, it's just one of those things where I can better relate to your parents more than I would someone my own age, because of my background, because of how I was raised, and because of where I am here. You know, mentality-wise, emotionally mature-wise, etc., etc. You know, a lot of my very close friends, and my best friend, who is 63 years old now, often states that I'm basically a 60-year-old in a 26-year-old body, and likes to call me what they call an old soul. I don't say that to try to show off or whatever. It's just genuinely what is stated about me. And a lot of people like to claim they're old souls, but in reality they're not. However, I really am what you would call the traditional old soul, authentically. And I further explain too, look, in my free time, be it online Xbox modding, or real life volunteering, or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, or whatever, I'm always helping people. Always. In one way or the other, I find myself helping other people. For what, you may ask? Nothing. Other than to see them have a better day, other than to see them happy and just overall having a better productive life because of something that I was able to do for them without any expectations of return. But wait a second, I'm Gothic. Oh yeah, that's right, it doesn't fucking matter that I'm Gothic. I could be preppy, I could be Gothic, I could be emo, I could be skater, I could be punk rock. It doesn't matter. Again, here and here, heart and mind, personality, character, that's the only thing that matters. And until you people actually truly understand that, you'll be stuck in your high school mentality of, oh, he wears all black and wears chains, that must mean he's a serial killer. Yeah. You know, it goes a part of the emotional mentality, you know, from emotional maturity to mental maturity to even physical maturity. You have to be, you know, an adult at some point in your life and realize just because people like to wear things that are different from other people doesn't mean that they're a bad person. Now mind you, I'm not invalidating or even making fun of or trying to belittle this individual or put them on blast, as some might say. In fact, like I said before, I am just taking this as an opportunity to help educate people and have them better understand the world for what it is, and, you know, people and psychology in general, you know. It's just one of those things where, you know, I can understand why and how, psychologically and or otherwise, how she's been conditioned, just like a lot of other people have been conditioned to fear that which they know not, and those who live in the dark or have a dark style to them. Because you think about it, you know, a lot of the Hollywood movies and just in general, movies, shows, animes, you name it, a lot of the evil bad guys are often dressed in what? All black. Chains, red eyes, you know, the whole 10 yards, you know, basically the goth culture. And, you know, in turn, because of this conditioning through movies, television, media, etc., they misguidedly believe that, therefore, putting those two things together, that they see an individual in all black, chains, whatever, this must mean that they're just like the characters that they see on television and the media. That means that they're psychopaths and killers and fear them because they'll do mean things to you because they're all in black and chains and they're unique. You know, that's kind of the the sad truth to it all. So it's not like I said before, it's not like I'm offended. I'm actually glad that someone wrote it out finally so I could screenshot it rather than just word of mouth. You know, I'm very glad that someone actually had it in them to admit that to me so I could use this as an opportunity to spread this education. So, yeah, like I said, they've literally been conditioned to fear people all in black and wearing chains and, you know, anyone that isn't the normal, you know. Because if they're not normal, then that must mean something's wrong with them. So it's nothing that I'm offended by, but at the same time, you know, it's just one of the sad truths to this world. It is, you know, everyone is always saying, oh, be yourself. But then they're like, not like that though. And then if you happen to be in, say, you know, the goth culture, then they're like, well, something's wrong with you, you psychopathic killer. I'm gonna stay far away from you. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if I missed out on some good people because of that fact alone. But, you know, at the same time, quality people meet quality people. And quality people can look past one's attire and how they choose to live their life. Because, again, they only care about two things: the heart and the mind. Because if those two these two things are good, that must mean your personality is good. That must mean you are a good person. So they choose to look past one's looks and how they present themselves, and choose first to get to know them prior to trying to judge them. You know, it's simple things like that could universally make a huge difference, even in the world of like religion and politics. Just get to know each other and from a humanist standpoint, and you'll probably end up liking that Democrat, or that Republican, or that Christian, or that atheist. You know, you gotta get to know the people first. And then you can be like, well, that guy is a total douchebag, or that girl's a piece of shit. Because you get to see their personality, you get to see how they treat others, you get to see what they do and how they do it. You go beyond just looking at what covers their skin. And if you really put in the effort, you can get to know them beyond just a conversation, and you get to see their literal lifestyle. You can be like, well, this person does that. You know, they're not blowing smoke up my ass. They're actually saying, oh yeah, you know, I do this, and oh yeah, he really does that, you know, that type of thing. And then you get to be like, wow, I'm glad I didn't just pass this guy up, or this girl up, or whatever. Because you can see that they're genuinely a good person, and they're not just full of shit. You know, anyone can say, I'm a good person, but you know, everybody's doing this, and that's why I'm doing this. I watch, I observe, and I learn that way. Because anyone can say anything they want. You know, whatever. First Amendment. However, their actions speak for them as far as I'm concerned. People can say whatever they want. I don't believe it until I see it. You know, it's one of those things, literally with me. People are so full of shit in this world that I must physically see them do that to which they claim they do, or whatever. Otherwise, I assume they're full of shit. And I don't do that to say that they're lying to me. It's just one of these things where I rather see their actions prove me right or wrong, and that's the only way to truly do it. Because if you don't, you're just taking their word at face value, and if you don't know them, well, you know, it's kind of hard to be like, well, because, you know, a lot of people end up disappointed. You know, they're, you know, and the classic guy goes up to girl and says, oh yeah, I'm a CEO. They sleep with him, they get up the next morning, and then they eventually find out the guy isn't a CEO. Not like that matters or anything, but that's one of the classic dilemmas of taking something at face value. You know, they both use each other. She wants to get with him because he's a powerful CEO, and he uses her for her vagina. You know, it's one of those situations. Had she done her research and actually tried to get to know the guy first, and then got to see his lifestyle and be like, oh yeah, he's not really a CEO. What a lying piece of shit. And then would have got, you know, went on to someone else rather than impulsively sleeping with him. So it's one of those things, again, to bring back, if you see someone all in black, wrapped up in chains, or their preference style to their dark, you know, attire, you know, crazy hairdos, piercings, whatever, get to know them first. Have a conversation with them. you'll find out 9 times out of 10, they're nicer, kinder, and have a better personality than anyone else that you know, especially your mainstream friends. Because if history's proven anything, it's shown, and repeat itself, it's shown that goths, emos, and ALT, alternative, individuals are more compassionate, more accepting, kinder people than mainstream. And that's just reality. That's facts. That has been proven more times than none. It is the reality. So, again, I implore you, get to know a person before you truly say, you're scary. Because I'm probably one of the nicest people you could ever come across. But yet, you'll not want to do anything with me because of what I choose to put over my skin? What? Where's the logic and reasoning in that? But again, I halfway accept it due to the social conditioning because of movies and blah blah blah. So, long story short, I hope you do get to know someone before you impulsively judge based on what they cover their skin with. And I hope that this has helped some people out, maybe educated them, maybe gives them something to think about, like, you know. And if they run into another individual that they originally passed up, then they can be like, hey, how you doing, man? You know, that type of thing. So, until next time, see ya.